We are premo to Ghana this mama yeguso ayesu ye charge adwo de neso braso se kasebo se mo for wagina tenten wasem ye sinkonwa na afei ye de asum na wie nsem ye de besum no doso na emu ye di mu akotene bi abete ani na ma akohia de nde ye siye ewo adanse wasantemantam nam so ema Ghana Chamber of Mines in Penny for the ya consumption din sem e de ma Ghana fo nyina Saso na Kane General Secretary Edima MPP Amanyoko Engineer Kwabena AJ Japan wakofa nkrata asa nyame ya adum obegina apre fankatu for dibre ewo MPP Amanyoko emu yede ni betremu ewo epoye mantemu na obutumpan basic school mpanifo no wode atodwa wo kire se wo mu hia nyoma pii na beboa e ma adehia ni adekire etimi egina ne naso ene wi nsempi na aka we ho de yesi nkonya yede esomo media mejeso ne garganto lady ohene wa kase bo wahene Africa se bo ne munchi mankasa enie nanu kwada agas bosom de tosunsia na beto dwa sa akwenhia dende pa esi adanse ye no ewo asante mantem ye kase de wo man ne ebutu ye twajajo ne anu oden bebia befe bia tuntum ne kokko na manfo ahya woguso a wosun ne nyina ne se enipa ekukudam enintine bese enwotwe ba mo wo de na paka na afeso ninsa enwunu ato mo so enam so meku ahodo ahyase ankrata tente wo mo de pie montene so esi ade woni a wode aba eye Ghana Chamber of Mines in Penifo na mentume bo ase na menkan ne se ne Penifo ade ato emontene so Ghana Chamber of Mines in Penifo de atodwa a kire se bremu de wo mu su ebusua wo mu di yawo shedding ya konsam no wo mu gina wo mu president anemu saso ena wo members anemu e wo mining industry ni mu a wode ya shedding sem koma ebusua saso ena Ghana ban ene Ghana fo nyina wo mu atroso a kire se na no kwada na esi ye ne mu odene ne mu ya ya dwene ho a ye ntiase ye nyanka ye bebisa nyankopon twedi ampon kosane so ye ne hwan ye nipa nti ye ntimi emisa no kosa enipa nwotwe a wo muti na nan wonse do na wo nam kwanso a wo mkoso wo mai Ghana ena to renchama no odin sei eto wo mo chemba ne de betimi aka kire Ghana for say ye ne wo soafo a na wo hwe bambo mu nsem ne environment brano ye hie di nkomo se ne be ya galamsey illegal mining ye betimi aboa na yetimi etu ase na wo hia mpanifo wo ya wo hwe se ne a wo modembo esitie akukudro kwan so gina yesie papa wo hye yenti mining industry no egusu ya epem ekonenim empanifo gina kire se ne etie bia no eba ne yensu akwa ye breto obehwe se betimi aboho ban se ne be ya mining na wo moye no ebetimi egina na kwan so enti empanifo kire se ne ahihye ne sitie na Ghana fo nyina yesu enti empanifo aka wasem se wiase mo koto se wafefo nyina agusu a woje asra want no kokromoti anye bia ne e kan se kokromoti ne wunti ena ebremu de yeso ye de nkrata pie montene so a ye ne ebusua esubomu ye ne Ghana ban subomu Ghana fo ene wo manfo nyina kire se ni peya wo mo afrimu nya de akwan bia so man Ghana bakosem ye behwe se ne wo mo ye sum Ghana no ebetimi akokwa afeso enipa nwotwe ya wo mo afrimu yi nya ye kan se nyankopon twedi ampo basa ya dom emfa wokra ensie yie eyensem kese pa ya Ghana Chamber of Mines in Penifo wode epie montene so a wo chese central for yankinkan na Ghana fo nyina enye bi entie nanu ada na beto dwa se wosoafo ya wo show my Ghana sikasem so Dr. Kisla Toba force we pie montene so chese si ade kokko obo no ya pagem kakra e de ama kokko akuafo nam so e ma pani kwanchefo ya wodi akotena bedweko ya wo mo hwe sikasem tutue ne mpuntuo so Dr. Erica for wachechem sa bana ya de pass kokko obo woti pagem musa
unya ebua eye $7,200 eno nya de mine per ton. On se koko bi ka ton na eye 16 bucks en eye ton. Enti onu na de mine. Now sha 2024-2025 so the MPP de buy ye gina so editua e ka Ghana eye 4,850 per ton. Ndu don sa buy wa bon ho moden so ko adwa so no akonya boni bi aka ho o hwe difference na ye $2,350 per ton. When you be a camper, say what aban abaso. na say what the multiply in pre cedi na ho de na 10 cedis 25 pesos ewo dollar bia nti ebe ma 4612 cedis 50 pesos ono na ebe ma na aban say obema kuani 70% no ikabo ma any price na sisi abana yenyina yede yanim no any 3228 cedis 75 pesos any sika sisi yede ma kuani bia per bag wohwe the NDC sisi de ewokoko board sema 1383.75 Ghana cedis na what the to MPP dia no 2024 ube wu se omoko dwason omo ekofa ebo bi buy aye $4,850 per ton around that time no ye to cocoa 9,000 ekopem $11,000 per ton 16 bags na sika na dey calculation no na 1 cedi bia $1 bia is 16 cedis into hwa sika no dey ma akuafo at that time enu 70% na ye na dey ma akuafo omo 63.9% $3,100 per a ton of cocoa what's the simba format we be say who say esanso ye 3,100 Ghana cedis per bag so we yan contain we a we be who say cocoa per bag bia sika cocoa board now the year adwuma no eso ate aba 366 cedis 25 pesos per bag inti sa o per ton na we be nya 5,860 say sika we esan kokwani no nje bisa se ye ka se sisi ababan ena odi kokwakufo ewu ye Ghana sika no emu apagya kakra so okodwuma sika ikitawa ye for example 3,228 ya ye say ye dey talk koko one bag be udi dudwuma den yema na ode beto to us no ye who say the value of this money no akoso we do tonema bebre than 2024 ade ba ko a ese ye hye ne so e wo saje no so
Mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de atudwa se ebremu de resetting Ghana agenda na ekoso mantem dunsia wo my Ghana muntinioma bo na dentisi ade nyame ya adom ebetimi aba fo menam so e ma banko ntebufo penny Dr. Hassan Idris wode atudwa se wo hwe June pa de inflation na ekosoro pa 13.7% ebremu de July aba from about 12.1% wode atudwa wo chese amasi ade Ghana for dodo na chese ho eheha wo mo ye papa
July inflation more what's in there. Inflation is this year perform to 12.1%. Last month June, now inflation year 13.7%. Now this year perform to 12.1%, meaning that we perform by 1.6 percentage points between June and July. Now if you cry December last year, 2024, inflation now year 23.8%. Now, this year we perform we do 12.1%. Food inflation, that is prices of nziban na items are nziban actually between June and July we perform. Now, even non-food today, education, healthcare, also actually inflation compared to Tama June last month. Na inflation this month on so perform. Yehwe nzama so ayekra from outside yede bagana on so ni inflation on so perform. Na even nzama ye manufacture wo Ghana ha and services are ye wo Ghana on so ni inflation why then perform. Na goods ni inflation perform na offending services inflation aba form. In fact, inflation figures no coincide with brain nature. Even though inflation on general inflation, national inflation, we're referring headline inflation 12.1, but breaking it down into regions difference one per. In fact, Upper West not recorded the highest at 23.8% Upper West. National Central Region not recorded the lowest, which is 7.7%. Now say headline inflation at 12%. Now say region Kurumkutin or 23.8%. Although also now but Central Region not on form, only lower than national average. Yari policies are about inflation number former. Only the policies no one size fit all. What they say about policy. Now northern regions are register high inflation. Yeah, one inflation baba form. Now I offend then other regions no so where inflation will form no so. You be say one day abentina one inflation will form. Now mawaye corrector or my inflation will form ne ahwe they bet me the same thing for the other regions are.
Amanebo ayensa kan se mpanifo ekukudam ne nintibe enei wadweni achemu abankese mokoya wonante sie nyina ne se ceremonial gardens ayaya enipa nwotwe Ghana heroes a sebe wo mweti nanan mo anse de no wode nhwini ede akwakoto wo mo ehono mo a wo kire se wei eye nunyam hyekese agede masafo ne nyina.
Tala Muhammad, I reminiscence the last days of him in Parliament. That is Wednesday of last week when he took his turn to debate the mid-year budget. It was full of life, it was full of inspiration, and he was full of himself as usual. He means no words. He said the things he had to say perfectly, and it's unfortunate that that is his last day with us in Parliament. I know his constituents will miss him because of who he is to them. I believe that the virtues he always exudes, most of us will take after him. Virtues of not being corrupt, always speaking against corruption, and making bold statements that he will not use any dime of his constituents on himself. I pray we have people who live after him and live these virtues. Omani Buama, we miss a lot as NDC, and I know the first family is grieving so much because of the virtues he has. May some of us, if not all, some of us leave the legacies that they have left behind for all Ghanaian youth. I wish their family well, and I wish the NDC a good replacement of these two. God bless us all. Thank you.
On behalf of Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndom, Mrs. Yvonne Ndom, and Group Ndom, our staff, our directors, our stakeholders, we are all so devastated by this tragedy. You know, all death is painful. But when you have such pillars of society perish at once, it really hits home. So we are here in solidarity with the president and the families of those who lost their lives. We feel for them and we mourn with them. And we hope that we can recover from this and get back on the track that we were as a nation going forward. It's refreshing to see how political swords have been dropped and the whole nation has come together in a nonpartisan way to support the president and offer their condolences. Thank you.
Bedroom Casa Church Media Koso and Cramantem now small so far be the Treya Washer, Dredio Honsem, so Samson and Hin Wakasa watches Abana Yashe say 1 year garment and ascent to my Ghana, I get a swat 2033 dear, Yamayad will bet Peja with Jumediamo, Natimi Abwa, send a bay a money mebuno, a bet me any Juma aye.
The textiles and garments sector is not only a cultural emblem of Ghana's identity, it is also a strategic anchor in industry within government's industrialization agenda, with the potential to generate massive employment, particularly for women and youth, while enhancing export diversification, boosting value addition, and supporting sustainable development. Ghana once had a thriving textiles and garment sector. Today, however, only a handful of legacy textile companies remain in operation. This policy is the result of extensive research, stakeholder consultations, and a clear-eyed assessment of global trends. It responds to the urgent needs for a coherent and competitive framework that will attract investment, enhance productivity, and position Ghana as a sourcing hub for ethical and sustainable apparel manufacturing. By 2033, we aim to scale the industry to a value of over $2 billion, attract 1.2 billion in new investments, create 150,000 direct and indirect jobs, and revive cotton cultivation across 50,000 hectares of farmland. Ladies and gentlemen, today's validation workshop is therefore critical. We are here not just to discuss policy on paper, but to collectively shape a roadmap that reflects our shared vision for the future of the industry.
Now, if the factory exists and does not follow the policy of the then, the existing government, it means that the factory shouldn't exist at all. So, textile, you all know, is very key to the development of any nation. Some countries just pick factory, textile as a key enterprise that drives the development of the whole country. And it has succeeded in many, many places. When it comes to Ghana, it doesn't succeed. Why? So this policy, we want to offer our support as the Ministry of Labor, Jobs and Employment to say that it will create jobs for our people. It is one of the issues that we are key to see succeed. So I want to urge you, don't just go validate it. Go validate it with a reason to do so. If there are things that are lacking to give it the quality of a private drive, please put it in. You can't run a government enterprise as if it has no stake. It has to have a stake. There must be a reason to employ people where there should be. Don't do a policy that will create overemployment. Don't pick people because they are necessarily party people, but people who know and can drive the change.
Yet work as your boy saw the nature once and for a so for your was and Matem, Dr. Frank Amwakwene, and workers such as Abana and she shared the Ama 1 year biomujuma, a woman.
Senior Social Development Officer, your war, Department of Social Welfare and Community Development, a Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Ora Godfred Abogo, Wanuna Ejina Santimantam Haswa for Nemwa Wakasaya, what you say. Sawashe Abanya Ghana Mampeni, John Dramani Mahamadano na. Wamo Jumaden Edenshe Panania Mapa atutwa kwemwe bebwa ama Ghana sikasam Ejina Naso na Wamuso Muye Boja Jumano so etimi ejina mo na so wo se abai no eni sika krabia hodo no edika so boma wo betimi ama wo a wo inside anya adwumatitwo bi atse omom ye bodwa no omom tonton ade nkakra no omon so ebetimi anya akwanya na wo metimi anya bosia ade ahyo madwuma ni mu no metimi ebi omadwuma na ye kese no madai so etimi abamu ensami wodi tudwa wa bra Center for Social Justice and Star Ghana Foundation eye omom ka bie wo mu nhia mudie ewo Kumasi no wasante mantam ha.
The informal sector is not just part of our economy, it is the heartbeat of our communities, especially here in the Ashanti region. It provides livelihood for millions of Ghanaians and our hard-working market women, skilled artisans, dedicated peasant farmers, and small-scale entrepreneurs. They are the backbone of our local economy, contributing significantly to the vibrancy and resilience. However, we must acknowledge that despite these immense contributions, these workers often face significant barriers that hinder their potential and well-being. I want to assure you that the government of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is committed to empowering informal sector workers. We are actively working on several initiatives aimed at improving financial inclusion and social protection for these individuals. We are collaborating with microfinance institutions to create tailored financial products that meet the unique needs of informal workers. Our goal is to ensure that they have access to affordable credits that can help them expand their businesses and realize their dreams.
Eno Executive Director Yoda Center for Social Justice Professor Alex Menunso and UTV in Central for Chichinkomo.
Center for Social Justice CSJ no. Ni yehwehwe ne se timamuni bia wo Ghana ano. Ombenya kwan ama omu anya nkan ko wo abrabo mu. Na nia etimi bama ebi mu nsaka niema bia esanka omunya no mu ensantimi nka no, like inequities in distribution of things enun kwa kra injustice. And we believe that as a center we want to support people to reach their potential. Na Star Ghana Foundation boyen providing us money say yemwama, especially omo ye juma ye friend informal sector na say bojwa ejuma no omunso omunsabeka access to various financial services senia bojwa for nso benya bibidia aye juma.
One more cranium mafia manfo maso woku Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana and was Ghana man His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says see a direct se bi da honom enipa omo che Ghana card wa mayimu ni ampeni for da afeso Ghana Revenue Authority mpeni for direct se na edom muntemuntini si ano wo cranium abepiem wa my Ghana musia na support honom na anwe ne se koba ne saso a demorage etimi echew wo mo de sansem we gina to dwa bra na wo ya amamre ne amane association enya mfishia se duba kuntino na wopa hontoma pani kwankyerefo ya wada koya no Samson Awingobit won no de to dwa cheche mu se sia na edene momo nia wo kenyina ne se wakra nioma bepie mu na wo hwe anim so wonsa betimi aka kle na wetimi aton ade am omanfo etimi nya mfaso na sebe untimi yidie na wo kire se wo koya na so by man pani anhwe amfa ne nansi fom pade ne etie bia no wo ye kire anu won no mbeye etia NDC aban.
It's needless fight. And what suffices me is that government to government agency are fighting in this way. And these gentlemen were just appointed recently. The Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority was appointed by President Mahama to help him succeed. The NIA boss was appointed by President Mahama to help him succeed. And these people, I think they should work, they should complement. They should work to complement with each other work to deliver what the President Mahama is talking about, the resetting agenda. But if I see that the same government appointees, one will write a letter, official letter to another, and another is not responding, and that has brought this issue to the importers, that has brought this hassle to the vulnerable importer. The importer at the port doesn't know what is happening. I mean, his work is to come and take his cargo out of the port so that he doesn't pay demurrage or rent. I think it should be resolved immediately. I call on the Minister of Interior, which NIA is under him. I call on the Minister of Finance, which Ghana Revenue Authority is on him, that they should settle these issues. And because they shouldn't have, even in the first place, this issue shouldn't have come out in public domain. It is embarrassing the country, it's embarrassing the president, it's embarrassing the government. And I think that this should not go away. Because other than that, if this should continue, we have no option than to demonstrate at the port. Because we cannot allow their two differences to affect the vulnerable import and export. And I believe that from the way President Mahama is working, they will swiftly respond to it and make sure that these two institutions work together so that at least, because since yesterday, somebody who was supposed to start his work yesterday cannot do his work because you must be verified before. And if you cannot be verified, then you cannot continue to do any work on the items.
I tell you, Esan say I'm working to protect the interests of shippers and tea. Many NIA penny no yaya kuku mene kasae na mene GRA boss no penny pa no so mene kasae na ne yakwa ne se GRA for the NIA for ka na NIA for geo musika wohwe mu nso kura la NIA funds so the GRA funds so ka. It's way the way ka other ways to the way ka. And one no leaders or heads of government institution. And Abai President Mahama and so Neni Swadi who say the cost of doing business at the ports and so no it be reduced. One of the causes of increased cost of doing business delays. Na sa wontwi aba NIA for any GRA for intermediate anhwe ne ya ne beba ne se bema delay ayeden aba na ma delay no ba na de demurrage na se for aba nti no enra me ne mpenimfo mienu na me de me ka kire omo na me pa mo chew so omo se asono mienu eko a performance nsan na enya amane nti no e friend say shippers na be den e bebre na shippers e brand so another cost of doing business no so den cost. President Mahama appoint your mumienu appoint men on so no or say opposite the cost of doing business na den eba down nti na ehun ni kwan say penimfo mienu beko na the fight no ebe undermine what the president stands for. We are all supposed to project what the president stands for and help the president achieve his vision.
And JP na beto adwase mpenifo ye wo MPP amanyoko mu chese wo bi nkrata mu dia to honom wo kondo pass obehim frank ade am MPP amanyoko na bra se ne be ya betimi afa forms enam so e ma apamfo anase delegation ya wo gine mu e dia ma kane trotro for the ma MPP amanyoko no engineer kwabena eje Japan akofa forms a wo kire se party de party oto obo ase gine wani hwemu party a nipa ba kwa wo gira branie de epie montenso nyina wo betimi abo ase ne be ya MPP amanyoko betimi edi nkunim our 2028 general elections no we engineers in will be any honum na nipa work advisory team no ho edema delegation no ayofusu asam one or 20 boase a one essential for din komo church ensem say
yen a ye tai kwabna engineer kwabna eje Japan echi ye wo gidie wonimu na nani so ade hu ene na dwenkyere ene na hofama no ye wo arichimu se udi party nanim ye flag bearer na ye frank atufo a ebeboa yen fi se be bia party no ye gina sisi no sebe akansie na ye ko no enye frank atufo nko na ye pe obi obetu franka na odi nkunim abre party no na yetimi aba aban mu na wohwe engineer kwabena Japan party no efimfiti ase nyina owom 50 years start ya edan kwabuzi a ebeda na party no oni yempanifo nyina nante eti eba party nankasa ho ewoma sebi se wo hwe 2007 imponu asom president Kufo as a press secretary to the president bibia president beye bia meeting bia na mo bi to bi obetu bia no ni ne etu na obegina ye na edini bia wo tete kra se na o mo pe frank etu kra na ye nti won dinda oni amechen eti infitiase na ese tworo mu asem se de Yesu kanso infitiase na asem no ho na asem ni Erade na ho no oni na nado dankwa oni president J Kufuor BJ Darocha we ni medubu ahinum nyina no oni ho ansa na echima for ne de eba it when you want to trace the history of the party and align it with a person ene ke Kwabena Japan din bia ni party ni mu a esen edin Kwabena Japan.
Thank you.
Sebi watena party we the general secretary of the party se ka se a party bia onipa a woda party na no administration of the party a bibia ba etio to a etwere ne bo a general secretary na Kwabena Japan the general secretary of the party eti edimbe na sin general secretary say be chairman of the party na owo general secretary no so chairman ye ceremonial chairman office kra oni bu a woman no abana onipa ohwe party na namutuo ne nkanko ne se bibia be pepepe no general secretary of the party say be ya na binum ga so Kwabena mante masi yenim no na wewe Kwabena yenim no party ni bia ni wo nim no na ton na ye kwa akoton frank atufo no ya MPP for ndese ya yenim ne dada na ne ye kwa akoto abana enya de obi agina obegina na emo no won a ete ban bama no so a omunye party bia na sesi yenya obi a ye de ni ko gina won anim a omunya ne ho keka wa bia say why say nti enye party for ni de oye me party ni de onye meto ama no na won a ye kwa akopre no wa beka ho no etse se ye de odwan a nkekan bia anya ndan eli ne ho enko ene na ye hu e wo kwabna Japan mu a ye fo se etse se ye gi ni tum na odi party nanim.
Yet was a man by and Sakan as a gaman chair, Edni Niachimwa Bankesimo Dim Shring, Akotoho, Ediamadisian Mochia, Womotin and Anum Ewansiedo.
My greetings to the people of this nation, and solemnly and respectfully, we are struck by this event as a big blow to the entire nation of Ghana. On behalf of myself, the Ghana State, the Gadangbe State, we commiserate with all Ghanaians. We send our special condolences to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, President John Dramani Mahama, his cabinet, the army and forces, ministers, and to the bereaved family, who we dearly know how much of our support and solidarity they would need for this moment. This should not bring division, but this should bring us together as Ghanaians. Let's all rally behind the families. Let's all rally behind the president. Let's all rally behind the party. Let's all rally behind the entire nation and stand this moment and mourn for the departed souls. They were on the line of duty, serving man and country, and this has happened to them. Won't be Mawu Hejole Kehame. Won't be a dromo Keha Ame. Ngameke bi ni ashi woku ni ashi fe won bi na hiame won bi na krame won bi na ha me hiwale won bi ni ahani ametri ato eja keshi ewa.
We want, on behalf of the Christian community of Ghana, to share our condolences to the bereaved families and also the rank and file of this nation. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Mahama, and the NDC party to which our Honorable departed belonged, but to the totality of our nation, and to say that in this time of pain, may God console all of us and give us deep reflection that to inure to national development as we envisage the reality of death and the fact that for every assignment given any one of us, there is a beginning point, there is a terminal point. The terminal point may be by retirement or the exit of our party, but it could also be by a tragic situation like we've seen. So let us all be conscious and be taught by this situation to be responsible and careful and serviceable and truthful in all that we do in church, in state, in politics, in business, in education, and whatever else we do. May God bless our homeland Ghana, make this nation great and strong.
Oswafo ya wo hwe nuane ne kua ho nsem so o man Ghana mo Eric Opoku ne wo kasa de afutu ano odin kwa ma Ghana mabunu se kua de eye no ti na Ghana ban wo de feed Ghana dwumede wo de esomoye wo de sansam wo gina to dwabra wo keka ne nsase eye amamre ne amane woni a ebeto dwa se 2024 kua fo ye bo mabaso wo mon sentimi anka wo ma chede no na minister wo de sansam wo etudwa bra na wo de sika no ehya wo monsem.
The national best farmer Nana Owusu Chambrepon Honona Unya National Best Farmer Award no. Madanu Chamu no award I was here demand no. Lesi na no yentimi nya ho adwuma. Ene na nyame amakwan. na yabɛhyia ha sɛ saa award no yɛde ɛma no saa nso na akɛseɛ wɔ mu a wɔsɛ yɛde ma ɔmo no wɔn so na wɔn nsa nka wɔn ɛdeɛ ɛyɛ yɛwura noa ɔbɛn ɔna wɔn a ɛyɛn mmoa no nyinaa wɔ man mu no onya farmer ɔbɔ no ho mmɔden paa ɔno so na kyɛ yɛn bɛsi na nsa nkan afei yɛn nuanom a sɛ bibi nti ɔmo ahoɔden wɔ fam kakra ɔnso yɛwura Mr. Stephen Ado ɔno na odi nkunim wɔ mu ɔno so na deɛ wɔsɛ yɛde ma na ne nsa ntimi nkan ɛna afei ɛma ɛwɔ Ghana nyinaa ɔba ɔbɔ no ho mmɔden ɛwɔ kuadwuma mu no ɔno so na ne deɛ no ne nsa nkan enti ne na nyame ama yɛ ahoɔden ama yɛ nkwa na yɛn nsa aka saa abasobɔde a wɔsɛ yɛde ma wɔ mu no enti na yɛfrɛ saa akuafoɔ no ɛne ministry ha mpanimfoɔ nyinaa ne ADB foɔ a wɔn sɔ yɛasene ɛwɔ saa ahyiadi mu wɔn na deɛ odi kan koraa no akyɛdeɛ a yɛde ma no wɔn fa ho ka nyinaa nti ADB foɔ de ɛka wɔn bɔ no ho nyinaa na ɛyɛ 1 million Ghana no wɔn de abrɛ yɛn dɛ yɛn nso ministry yɛahwehwɛ sika nipa mmiɛnsa ɛka ho obi adeɛ 200,000 ɛyɛ titi sika no 2 billion yɛayɛ ne nyinaa ready a ɛnɛ da yi yɛde bɔ wɔn aba so na nhyɛ a yɛayɛ no sɛ free na ko die ye nye farmers day free bio sese die ye ya ye betua na trans.
Therefore call on all stakeholders to come together to find lasting solutions to land degradation across the country, which invariably affect our food production and quality. Amidst the difficulties associated with farming, which poses a serious threat to food security, it is refreshing to know that for decades, the work of the farmer in contributing to our nation building has been recognized and continuously celebrated by successive governments. Only the payments were delayed. This serves as a motivation enough to wake up in the morning through rain or shine to our various farms to provide the necessary and basic commodity needed to sustain life. Over the years, I have come to realize that there's nothing wrong with our agriculture that cannot be fixed with something right. Which, Honorable Minister, thank you. I think you are fixing it, and you will fix it.
All right.
Ghana buying and work as a Ghana for a Boshe be a Gusha washer can be as Wabesha so bet me edition to one big push. Jumediano so air send a beya. I don't see what my Ghana mo and quest a brano brana banning kuto near name mum 1 year a year and crankra me aye binetimi abua. Now a month for na debia da walk casatra says ye nya baby na baby a da crown rent yentimi entwanum yentimin chiana so betimi echa. What is answer wagging out to your managing director Edma State Housing Company John Sheriff Bawa. And what it to Jabra no waya mamrene amania seasons court ye pa hon toma e wa dental housing down no e won crap nkuni mantem wasi aban bo hye bia wa hye bia no wo bedi so ansabre no aso e de ama wo mo
no credit o hwe bibia housing deficit no was see ana e hia se ye be dream ebia rethink the way in which I approach government's intervention in state housing. Into you were Mampeni, John Dramani Mahama, all Kasa, every manifesto, no more, all Kasa, or by a big push focused on infrastructure development. Housing is a very big part of it. And I also share 24-hour economy, President Eka Huasema, launching in July now. Osha, a month for the brave workforce no more. Omunina say we uko ejuma, dream baby our mother, baby our year no mother, baby our uku no mother. In state house no ye senior. Ye bet me expand the projects now ye no. Senebeya at least public servants now mobile starting ye shift ye no. Ombenya baby ada omundwe no now share in terms of investment now. Ye senior the private sector. Ebe boom. This housing industry no more send a bear you bit me see a dine be brave see no the years in maybe a project 200 150 Osha the ben you be do 1.8 million deficit this a ye be private sector no ever come Send the buyer sika be best no. Ohwe bank bebrebe no mo companies bebrebe o mkre sika on so mo nhye den nim bebrebe o mo de be hye. Nti invite o mo nyina say o mo be partner with State House. Na say ase ne de yekura. Na say ase no government dey share yen say yen find developing housing ema o man no. Nti o mo disika ne ba ye betimi abomo esi o mo beto no so de bebre. We 3 and 2 bedroom apartment. In Akaboma, 9. 3 bedroom, 6. And 2 bedroom, 3.
The Citizens Court Annex reflects the government of Ghana's commitment to addressing the national housing deficit through innovative, inclusive policies that are dedicated to provide quality housing for all citizens, fostering strong, safe, and vibrant community. The Citizens Court Annex is a vital step in the journey, providing homes that empower families, create jobs, and stimulate economic growth in line with the ambitious infrastructure investment plans to transform our nation. I want to declare the Citizens Court officially commissioned.
Yet to akasi boy as to dream tneni edema nat ne nkrabata no wonfinfi mantem Godwin ya andam no kasa che Ghana babata wani abene wadi chiemu se tete no na ye chiwe mpo ne ye bisa akosa na wuyi ano na no dem den so practical ne yentimi nya wo se ebra so se ebetimi den sachrai aba what the sansa wanyina to dwabra graduation etoso mienu Reggie Paul's International School kaswa na wo mo hye ho efa.
We gather here tonight under the solemn cover of nightfall with heavy hearts.
I say I want no, I want you do. Ni manome bi ho ma enye tete adesua na ye de solve innovation technology. Nti si amankola na anya critical thinkers a omo adesua no ye nyam mfa so. Nti this is the time ese ma nkola no a proper basic foundation. Ema omo tumi ebenyi abe critical thinkers ama omo ahwe ye we are senior ma ekoso ene kwan befa so a omo ye nyoma I made a boy home bra. A band say na benya asundwe. Basic education is say ya. Nkola no mo nye success oriented. By force say onyeska. By force say oye bibi. But ombe bo obra impossible hwe omo a ombe di omo ni no mo abobra ehotew. Nti ebesra awofo aban obia owo man mu education hunya because say titi baako ni anete baako a mfaso ne so but say titi omu na bom ama yedachi enu babu ama ye corruption age ntansa wo man mu no ebitumi atiso kra ombedi omu huni omu ye adwuma so a ye be hu sampa adwuma no mo ye no mfaso ba o man ne mu
Ghana education system ni mo omu yifima eno I don't know near ABC because a crucial a very important science and technology education. See obi betumi akọ school or ye obewie JSS by STEM no that technology ni science na obesua no owie JSS no ebetumi say on co school biom by obenya because of STEM no besua a skills bi ebet obinu akese betumi bie na dwuma ankora dwuma. It's not all about graduating from university and I said your first
ma yampem so mfa ye ne nkyeremu atoye mantam ye kohwe August Bosme ne de to so nsia okuada oye ne kase esi ye wo my Ghana mu a besi ne kobre ko eni abre pa na wo hwe nipa a wo mu film na wo ye nwotwe emu num de wo mu nyina ya ban mu mpanifo miensa na eka hono eya strafa wodi wodwuma ewo Takoradi Air Force Base ababe to dwa se enrada dwumedie kase bi akoso ya ye de kai wo mo yeso kendo na kire se ye de han kanea na edi wo mo anim asrafo mpanifo afeso flying officer ne ho kafo eni mpanifo bebre na na ko dwumedie na se a wo mu so ina afi wo mu hye wo hoden na wo dwumedie kese we ase Air Commodore Eric Yerenchi wono na Takoradi Air Force Base commander wo kasaye wo dwumedie na ase a wo kire se nyese sebe ni abanti obi sori adwuma no mentimi nye wo se enumpo hye wo moden na wo nye adwuma kese.
We gather here tonight under the solemn cover of nightfall with heavy hearts and united spirits to honor and remember our gallant air crew members who were involved in the aircraft accident on a Black Wednesday, the 6th of August, 2025. Though words cannot undo what has occurred, nor ease the pain we collectively feel, we are here tonight to remember, to reflect, and to reaffirm our deep appreciation for their sacrifice. Their dedication serves as a beacon, a powerful reminder of the selflessness that defines our noble profession. To our officers, men, defense civilian staff, this incident is a stark and painful reminder of the risk we accept every day in the service of Ghana. Let us draw strength from one another and let this moment deepen our resolve.
The vigil is not merely a ceremony, it's a testament of our grief, our love, and our refusal to let their light fade unseen. We are here because we must be, because in the face of such loss, we cannot bear the silence alone. We come together to weep, to hold one another, and to whisper their names into the night so that heaven knows how deeply they are missed. Each candle we light here today is a plea to God, to faith, to whatever power that listens, that their sacrifice will not be forgiven or forgotten, that their courage will endure in our memories long after these flames burn out. Tonight, we ask for prayers, not just for the fallen, but those of us left behind. We ask for your support, not just in words, but in the quiet strength of presence. And we ask for your remembrance, that long after tonight, their legacy will live on in the lives they touched.
Yejina we so na ye try ho sima ye ba nsam aka ene doso ye ba sisia.
Breaker see your boy. Eye Echo Bank, Adaroma, and Waso Yasne, Ama Yede Bro.
Yes, I'm a millionaire quava bio made by a cassia bopono so afa ye consent for froso. Penny quancher for ya wada kwame nkroma upon kese na no wasante mantemo. Ma me Rita Professor Kosia Dixon was one year years ago and say, one more send a bear to apono, a bit me enyini, a one more day after so, I could draw pine so.
Empenyimfo a wɔn ɛda Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Mechira Management ɛne Board of Directors ada adwumadie bi adi a ɛnkyɛ koraa no wɔn bɛyɛ ne friends Homecoming Summit ɛno ɛna wɔn di kan ada nadi na mmra Vice Chancellor Edema Suapon owura yere Professor Mrs. Rita Kosia Dixon wɔkasa ɛna wɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔbɛda adesuafo wɔn abɛfa ɛyɛ suapon no suadeɛ na afei wɔn yɛ nnwuma ahodoɔ baabi wɔn ɛka ho paa na suapon no ɛtumi agyina ne nan so yie paa mechira alumni or Kassan watchers or Bestre, say, or more a yebipa, and Miahudo Ghana Hani Amanone, and so Mred do say, or more a bay yet to draw now, said a bay Suampono, a bit make Jan and so.
We have every reason to celebrate our legacy of untying the knot of wisdom. The reason is very simple. The true legacy of KNUST lies in its people, our great alumni, and our students, our products. And the impact that we are making now, the impact we have made in the past, and the impact we are going to be making going into the future. We are proud of you, our diligent technocrats who are solving real-world problems, not only in Ghana, but globally. You remain the centerpiece of our story, are agents of change and the pride of this great institution. Now the question would be, what next? Where do we go from here? Let me use the occasion to remind all of us that building our great future together requires bold and courageous commitments from all of us. KNUST is therefore counting on you, our alumni.
Eno echi asafohene achamfo asafoboache Ajman Bonsu ono ena ye otetre ne chairman edema Governing Council Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology okasai ena afi former Chief Executive Officer edema Ghana Gas Company Dr. Ben Asante eso edibitos.
In 2023 the world took notice when KNUST achieved something unprecedented, the #1 university globally for quality education, surpassing huge institutions like Harvard, MIT, and every other institution worldwide with a score of 93.1. The KNUST has stood as a beacon of excellence, shaping leaders and innovators who have transformed our nation and beyond. But excellence alone is no longer sufficient. Therefore, as we look to the horizon, our ambition is bolder still. Our overarching strategy for the next decade demands we ascend from excellence to eminence.
We do have alumni in the public sector, private sector, and academia, both home and abroad. We want to look at how we can harness or leverage alumni relationships for growth. One of the key considerations for institutional growth is certainly to bridge the gap between industry and academia.
Ma yampem somfo ye ni nkyemu mante ye no ewe sikumodo ben brakwa no wonfimfim mantem assemblyman ye o mante electoral area Richard Athan Walkasa Watches bremu dia ye dene pa dia ma ne manfo wo se agyanan papa woni bisa so nansuo papa wo benom bi ni honom community center bi ni ho sabe wo mo akwantempo na tete aprapa nsamto wo mo srempenifo se won kɔ wo mo emwa
lempempe kura ye gina asisi ade plan bleman mante Manti Yukura are a population of about 1,000 to 1,600 population. na oba ya ma mi ha say ya o hwe assembly project the project edenenu so no edos ebi to say ejanandia because neighbor no say community no say enam in the ambia eja na gu rough ninti see eba mehwe aban merewe mekoto asla aban na aban oba me ejanandia ampa aban so ayeden aba nti mesre aban no meye bibi san fama nti mesre aban ne say obetima me ejanandia na mbebu ni mpanifo ni ade nyina no we soli abush ti se nipa baako pe ne wo agana bia wo mu fie nkafo ni nyina no bush even though so ye program bi mpo wa ha na ho bekue mu ha eyemeni guase edema oman no community no nti mesra aban na nkrankru bia na NGO bi a obetie ye frɛ na waba bebo en agana bia even sans with a population of 1600 no nsi a oman ni nyina wo ye baako pe boho ya esi hoi boho no mine na jigent to gwanka kanka kwato pumping machine edu tumu na the polytanks send ebetumi nkofu bejan ro mu bu a ohun be ya hal kakra enya say ana say ya blabo no I am miserable to say ko hwe nsu bi de da femi no na chiru kwan nti be sa ban so ba bebo ye nsusem ye nsusem no aha ye papa
na kwani dia ye no omampani ya pa ucho gbe kwan mahe mo hwe na kwan na kwan approve de bi ko da daba approve o ma wo kan wa ye do kwa o mo bre kan ye adwuma wo ha mo taba ne sa yeso ye do kwa kwan si de bi bo se o ma bufam no bim kwa tuma ere wo hwe wo kwa obi kwa wo so ere oba ne ma o ma me na ere oba nti yesra ban e pa wo cho aban ye kwan atete apansam kan tum ye adwuma nti kwan wo e pa wo cho wo hwe no ere wọ́n yẹ kakra
aban foforo na baba no no say mimi ekwani aka omwa nyama e libe yekweduma na sisi aso ye hia sika abusa e libe ye kokon hoduma ana kokon so ase omutumu mai na ka yesu ya nyakaka dia boga say ye petore ye nya tore ti foforo ana kon so mai ni yama
Ebusia ye jina we suna kasiabo a ye boaboa no Byron ne nasefo esi nkonya semo no ye de nyina ye de esi team na boadwumaden pa na ne opa matade ye hyemi maame eye Christian Kuto Taifa Norway and abehu Christian Kuto e mantade me mantade nyina oto obo ase dwudwa style ya na etiapo frɛ 0558448534 0558488534 fra Christian Kuto so be pam bi e de aso ewi e da bo nyina ase din so any gargantuan lady ohene wa kase bo ahene yada wonyina ase ama mo ne hwe ewie